All right, it is 8 a.m. I'd like to call to order the Brimfield Township September 9th, 2020 meeting. If everyone could please rise for pledge of allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. I have a moment of silent meditation. John, roll call for the record.
Okay, all those in attendance today, Nick?
Here.
Sue?
Yes.
Mike is absent. We have a quorum. Mike is actually out of town, but we do have enough for the meeting.
Okay, thank you. Announcements and correspondences. Sue, have you received any announcements or correspondences for today?
No, I haven't.
All right, neither have I. John, did you get any?
I have not.
All right, we have no assigned meeting guests today. That will take us into meeting minutes. We had one set from the August 26th meeting.
If we accept the minutes.
It is August 26th.
Okay. Sue motions that we accept the August 26th meetings. I will second that. Any discussion on those?
No, I've read them. They're good.
Okay, all those in favor, Nick?
Yes.
Sue?
Yes.
Motion passed.
All right. I will make a motion to accept the agenda for today's meeting. Need a second? Any additions, subtractions, or changes from the board?
Under admin, the motion that we didn't have a meeting is scheduled in the last minutes.
Okay, yeah, I just made that as a note of mine. I don't think it has to be on the agenda because
okay.
we don't have to vote on that.
All right, we're in good shape.
Department heads, any additions or subtractions you need to add to the agenda? Anything we need to vote on? Nope. Hearing none?
Okay, all those in favor, Nick?
Yes?
Sue? Yes.
Motion passed.
I reviewed the purchase orders. I'll make a motion to accept the purchase orders.
Second?
Okay, all those in favor, Nick?
Yes?
Sue?
Yes.
Motion passed.
Warrants.
I move we accept the warrants as submitted.
I will second that.
Okay, all those in favor, Nick?
Yes?
Sue?
Yes.
Motion passed.
Public comments or questions. I have not received any from the public. Just as a reminder to the public, if you have comments or questions you want presented live to the board, email any of your trustees or call any of your trustees and we will do that during the meetings. But I have not received any for this meeting today. Sue, have you?
I had a gentleman stop by the house and on Elmhurst Court, the light is out on one, and it's really dark back in that horseshoe.
Okay.
And John's going to follow up on it and get a hold of Edison. Ron Gaylett, it's his property.
Got it, thanks.
Yeah, John said he'd take care of that.
All right. Any other public comments? Hearing none. Any safety concerns we need to know about? Department heads, any safety concerns? Nope. Hearing none. We're moving right along today. Police department. Roy, the floor is yours, sir.
Good morning, everybody. Just a couple of items for you this morning. First item is just a follow-up to the discussion point that we had at the last board meeting regarding the UAV unit and the purchase of a UAV unit. You'll note as part of my report, I attached a memorandum for you, just providing some follow-up information that we had discussed at the last meeting. I know there were some couple of questions regarding some training costs associated with that, and I wanted to break that down for you and show you what those costs would look like. Those are fairly nominal costs to go through the preparation and licensing for officers to get certified to operate the unit, but I wanted to provide you with that information as well as a copy of our policy, which would be very similar, essentially mirroring Streetsboro and Ravenna's policies for these units. Also wanted to make note there that the up and running time for this really is just going to be contingent upon the time that the officers put in for studying and preparing to pass their licensing. And speaking with Captain Atkins, he thinks that could be a period of about 30 days or so, give or take either way. So that's some background information on the unit as far as costs, as far as training. I wanted to open this up for any additional questions we might have this morning on this. and hopefully move forward with the purchase. But I wanted to open this up for any other further discussion or questions.
So I read through your policy this morning. It looked really good. Program coordinator, is that going to be Captain Atkins for this, or how's that going to work?
That'll be Captain Atkins. That's correct.
Okay. And then just a thought I had about the drone. Is that going to be insured through us in case there's an incident during deployment or use, or is that a piece where it's not insurable and we're just going to have to replace it if we have it?
I think that's a follow-up piece we can discuss with Otarma. That should be an insurable piece of equipment. You'll note on the memorandum I supplied for you, DJI, which is the manufacturer of this particular unit, does supply an insurance option up front for the first year. That's about $100 or so. But beyond that, for insurability, we would probably want to follow up to get that item added as an inventory item for insurance coverage. So that would be a follow-up piece. That's correct.
Okay.
Well, I'll double check, but I'm 99% sure it's covered under our Otarma policy.
Okay. Let me know otherwise, John.
It's like any other police vehicle. I mean, you're using it for police activity, right?
Correct.
I'll double check though.
Okay.
And then what's the time frame, do you think, before we get this drone unit to be delivered on site?
You know, I don't know an exact timeline on that. I'm sure I could find that information out for you pretty promptly. I just don't know that off the top of my head. I know that they put this quote together for us quite some time ago and have held that number and that quote for us going forward. So they would be ready to make delivery on this pretty promptly. I just don't know an exact number of days, but that should happen fairly quickly.
Okay. Those were the only couple questions I had. I'm excited for it. I think it's a great tool, and I'm excited to see it actually get deployed and used out here. So,
with that, is there any objection? I'd like to ask for board authorization to make that purchase, as noted in my report.
Yeah. So I'll make a motion to purchase a UAV system and accessories from Drone Nerds Incorporated in the amount of $4,288.05.
Second for discussion. You're gonna make that 4,300?
Got an invoice.
Nick, one follow-up item. I just got a quick message from Captain Atkins. We take delivery of that in less than a week. So that kind of clarifies the timeline on that. Second item, again, I know we discussed at the last meeting, we're gonna put that out for public consumption. The vast majority of the cost for this unit is supplied by the sale of a piece of equipment we made. So our really only total out-of-pocket expense going forward is a little over $788. So the bulk of this purchase is being funded through the sale of a piece of equipment that we made.
Okay, that's what I was going to ask. Where did that sale play into this? So the sale price of the other equipment, we're just going to transfer over onto this purchase.
Yeah, that sale picked up the full cost of this unit except for $788.05.
Okay.
We'll be okay with the proposal of 428805.
And what was it officially called again here?
It's a UAV system.
UAV.
Yeah.
Okay, all those in favor, Nick?
Yes.
Sue?
Yes.
Motion pass.
Thank you. Another follow-up item I wanted to bring to your attention this morning. We discussed at the last board meeting regarding the transient vendor and solicitor permit resolution that's in place for the township. One of the follow-up items from that discussion as we kind of walk through what the current protocols are with that is I wanted to follow up with the prosecutor's office, get some feedback and reference to enforcement under the township section of the ORC, which is 50599. I made a communication to Brett Bensey down at the prosecutor's office. I just have not heard back from him yet on that. So I just wanted to let you know that that's kind of still in the pipeline, but I've not received any follow-up from Brett. And once I do, I will follow back up with you as a board, but that's still in the pipeline at this time.
Okay, can you leave that on your agenda for next meeting too, just so we can see if we're getting any feedback?
Absolutely, yeah. Final item, I just want to make the board aware we're going to be doing some training over the next 2 days, this Thursday and Friday. We're going through some scenario-based use of force training, and that's going to be supplied by instructors from our own department, Officer Mike Rhodes and Officer Robert Putnam. So over the course of the next 2 days, we'll be at First Freedom Baptist Church. They were gracious enough to allow us to use their basement facility area to do some training there. So we'll have some training going on there over the next 2 days. Those are the only items I have for you this morning, unless you have any questions for me.
Hey, Roy. I know the fire department was going to use those 3 houses down on 18 to do some training. Is that worthwhile for you guys to use those as well?
Yeah, that's a good question. I believe some training is taking place down there relative to K-9 and or SWAT. I know there's some follow-up training associated with that. So yeah, that's a good question. That's a good point. Yes, that's taking place.
Okay.
They're scheduled to get back in some today, and then Sheriff's Department next Tuesday, Wednesday.
Oh, you guys got to handle that. Thank you.
Yep, you got it.
All right. All right. Well, thank you for your report. Any other questions for the police department today? All right. Thank you so much. We will move on to fire department. Craig, the floor is yours.
Okay, just a couple of follow-up items, piggybacking off what Chief Mosley had, the training houses. Might as well talk about those at 43, 53, and 63 Talmadge Road. We have been given permission to train in those houses per DHOF before they have purchased those, before they rip those down. We have until the 18th to do that, so a short time frame, but that was okay. So we went in there, we prepped the houses for the training we need. We've been sharing those with the police, the K-9 unit, and the sheriff's office will be all in there. Our training will be the 10th, and so Thursday and Monday the 14th will be in there. We will notify dispatch and some other people because I am going to smoke it up with a smoke machine and stuff, and I can just hear it now. People call 911 for structure fire, so we'll have to make people aware of that, and I'm hopefully making the public aware that we're just training in there.
Okay.
We do not have a sign that says training only. We might be able to spray paint something, put it out front, but we
What
will
day are
be,
you doing the smoke?
Thursday and Monday. So tomorrow and Monday. But it gives us a good opportunity to do things that we can't usually do, like kick doors in and rescues and break windows and flow water and destroy something that we can destroy.
Right.
so that's a good opportunity for us. So we want to thank DHOF for allowing us to do that.
Yeah.
And then we just want a reminder of our community drive and dine on October 1st from 3 to 6. Dinner provided. We have not completely settled on that because things have been so busy, but we're pretty settled on hot dog, sausage, chip style dinner, free to the public. Come and get a free dinner, learn about our upcoming events.
And we're coordinating with all departments to make sure we can have.
We are. We just, like I said, I got to get back to that. We've just been busy. So,
Okay.
But we have announced it and we will go forward with it.
Okay.
And that's really all I have for fire department right now.
Any questions for fire department? All right. Hearing none, I'll move us into admin.
Yeah, if we can move right into admin. I don't have anything on the agenda for admin except one thing we need to discuss and accept. Unfortunately, I have a resignation letter here from Jindy Miller, who is the zoning secretary, and it was her wishes to turn in this letter before today's trustee meeting for acceptance. So I'm bringing it to you guys. You have a copy in front of you, and there's some reasons, but we don't need to read her letter. That's for your eyes only. But she did state in there that she was excited to pursue the next phase in her life. So
I believe it said, wasn't it, say that she was retiring as well?
yes.
She planned?
Yeah.
Okay. Well,
So,
good. Congratulations to her.
yeah, so I just need you guys to accept the resignation / retirement.
So I will make a motion to accept the resignation letter.
Second.
All right. Discussion on that. I just would like to say, and I think we'll all talk to Jendy too over the next week and a half during this transition period, but she was an integral part of making sure that helped us through this transition. We've had a lot of changes over the past 2 to 3 years, and she's been here through all of those major changes happening in the township, and she really helped with that. And she'll be missed, and we appreciate her service to the community.
Absolutely. With that being said, I will work with Mike Ladd on our transition piece, and we do understand that that department, and Mike can reiterate this, is very busy, and we do need to retain a full-time person in there. So we will immediately start pursuing that.
Okay.
Well, Craig, the full-time person would be there all the time, right?
Oh, yeah.
Fill her spot and walk-ins and all that kind of
Yeah.
stuff. Okay.
Yeah, that's the plan. I mean, if Mike will tell you we need 2 or 3 people, but we can't afford that right now. But so we do definitely need to be pursuing filling that position.
So let's get a roll call on the resignation letter, because there'll be a second motion.
Okay. All those in favor of Jendy's resignation letter, Nick?
Yes.
Sue?
In the motion, I would like to, according to her letter here, that she is retiring. I'd like to have something in the minutes in our motion to show that that she is retiring at this time,
Okay.
her choice. Other
Okay.
than that, I vote yes.
Okay, motion
Accept
passed.
it.
So I think we need a second motion then, and I'd like to make a motion that we post this position immediately effective today to start the job search, just because we have a short transition period and we don't want to leave Mike Ladd's office without a secretary for an extended period of time.
Right,
I'll second that.
and I guess I should comment on there, this will be effective, her retirement, I keep saying that, September 18th. So we do have a short time frame to start transitioning.
So Craig, would you be able to get this posted in the paper today and let's do the same website we did before, either Indeed or whatever we used last time for the post?
Yeah, and I'll work with Mike on
Okay.
on
Same job description as we
Yeah.
had before.
I just want to look things over,
Right,
because we just got this yesterday, so.
right. Yeah, I just want to get it
haven't
posted
looked at
soon.
anything yet.
But instead of just the Record Courier, let's use that Indeed or Monster, whatever we've used in the past. I know it gives us an influx of people, but I think it helps us get the most qualified person that way.
And are we gonna have?
I
Craig-
laugh because we get people from California and everything else, but
Yeah,
I understand.
We're gonna have Craig handle the whole job?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, all those in favor? Nick,
yes.
Sue,
Yes,
motion passed.
Do you have anything else under admin, Craig?
I do not.
Under admin, I do have just a comment. John, this is a question for you.
Okay.
In the meeting minutes, we had scheduled a special meeting for 8/28, but then we canceled that under the advisement of legal counsel.
Okay.
So it's in our book showing that we had scheduled a meeting for 8/28, but it's not showing it. We don't have any meeting minutes to show that nothing ever happened. How do we?
I would
add that
just
to the
want to
public?
put a motion in here showing that we did cancel that meeting on that date.
So I'll make a motion that the meeting for 8/28 was canceled due to legal opinion.
second.
What date was that again?
8/28?
Okay, all those in favor, Nick,
Yes.
Sue,
Yes,
motion passed.
Sue, thanks for catching that in the book too. All right, anything else for administration today? All right, hearing none, we'll move into zoning and economic development. Mike, the floor is yours.
Thank you. First and foremost, Jendi Miller's retirement, which you guys just discussed. I just want to, let everybody know Jendi is a tremendous asset to the zoning department. She'll be truly missed. She does a lot. She picked this up pretty quick. We did the training here. Obviously, she moved into a different role and she took that to heart and did a good job. And I really appreciate everything she's done for us. Next thing is the request the Board of Trustees to schedule a public hearing for the demolition of 1145 Howe Road. You could see attachments. This is one of the abandoned houses that we did go in. This is an old meth lab, we believe. Part of the search warrant showed, just as we thought. So we'd like to schedule a public hearing for this one at 1145 Howe. And also the next line item would be request board approval to schedule a public hearing for the demolition of 1203 Dora Lee. And then you could see those attachments as well. Both of them were deemed unsafe and uninhabitable by the building departments. I have one more, which would be 4967 State Route 43, but there's a question of ownership that I need clarified by the prosecutor's office. So.
All right. Do we just want to do these on a normal trustee meeting day, or is this something we do in the evening because it's a public hearing?
Yeah, you could do it on a normal trustee. I think we did it prior to a meeting. I think we started at 7 last time.
Yeah. So do we want to do that next trustee meeting? Do a 7 a.m. start time?
Do we want to do that or do we do it before the zoning board meeting? When did we do it?
No, it was during a trustee meeting. Because none of us came in.
Well, I'm not going to be here next trustee meeting. We can do it, but Nick and Mike will be back. So Kirsten will be
Why-
here.
Yeah.
Be
We
the-
could also, We could also hold these till the next meeting and then schedule a public hearing. It's up to you guys. I could get 2 of them started, but I do have a 3rd one coming.
Well, how quick do these go, Mike? I mean, if we did it the 30th, is that too late?
No, I don't think that'd be too late. As long as it's within the month, I think we're good.
I'd rather not push it though, just because
16th
of,
then?
yeah.
Okay.
I'd rather not push it just in case some other hiccup comes up and we got to delay 2 weeks. So I think the 16th would work. Sue, are you okay coming in that early on the 16th?
Yeah, what time do you need to be here?
Let's schedule one. So I'll make a motion to set a public hearing for the demolition of 1145 Howe Road for September. It's gonna be September 23rd. This will be the next trustee meeting. Today's the night. Today's the night.
Oh, you're gonna have it the 23rd?
Oh, I'm not here the 20th.
You won't be
that's
here.
right.
Yeah.
Oh.
Okay.
So September 23rd at 7 a.m.
All right, let's pass that one.
So I need a second on that motion.
Second,
Okay, all those in favor, Nick?
Yes?
Yeah.
Sue?
yes.
And motion passed. All right, next one at 7:30.
Yep. So I'm gonna make a motion to schedule a public hearing for the demolition of 1203 Dora Lee Road for September 23rd at 7:30 a.m.
Second,
Okay, all those in favor, Nick?
Yes?
Sue?
yes.
And motion passed.
I'm sorry, so it's 7 a.m., 7 and 7:30.
Yeah. Yep. That way they have, in case somebody shows up, it gives them 30 minutes. If they don't, then we'll close public hearing. We'll just wait for the second one.
Okay, moving on, 5 Below at Cascades is now open. Menards is planning October. I did speak with Menards, and they're just getting their last stock and things of that nature, so they're looking at in October. I will give you a more permanent date at the next meeting.
They're gonna do a soft open like they did with Meyer, or?
That's the plan for now. Same thing, same type of opening. Virtual zoning commission meeting is September 10th at 7. Virtual board of zoning appeals hearing is September 16th at 7. Sunny Hills Villas is under construction, going well. Comprehensive land use plan, we're working still on the community survey. I did give all the comments from the survey that Todd sent us. Gave them all to him on September the 2nd, and he is just compiling those. We will be meeting with the zoning commission to finalize that here tomorrow night. Subdivision HOA list, I believe, is pretty much complete. The ones that weren't on the list, I'm going to have a separate list with HOAs in addendum, in an addendum to everything they gave us, of the ones that I think that we still have but may not be licensed by the state of Ohio.
Okay.
King's Car Wash is planning on submitting plans soon. The search warrants are now complete. I'm just waiting one more report, like I said, on State Route 43. And I'm doing plan reviews currently on Redwood High Point Hill subdivision. They are also on regional planning this evening at 4:30 for the subdivision across from Brimfield Steakhouse. So it's moving forward. I mean, the permit fees are going to be very high. There's a lot of condo units. There's 100 units in there. So we are going to see a big bump in the zoning fees. But the zoning fees total to date right now, along with the fire, is $100,985. And that concludes my report.
All right, 2 questions for you. Back to the community survey. Can we check with Todd Peets and see if he's available October 1st for our drive-through event? Because I'd like to at least use him for a community SWOT analysis where maybe we can just ask 1 or 2 questions of community members as they drive through and do some information gathering. Because that's probably gonna be the only opportunity we get this year to physically talk to people as a community as they come through. So I think it's a great chance that we can do that.
Yeah.
The second piece I have for you, because I just know it's a burning question from the community, any updates on Sheets? Has there been an official application yet?
No official application yet.
Okay.
And Mike, is going along with the applications across the street from Green Hill where they're building all that, wasn't there an idea that they were building a commercial property across there that cleared all the trees out and they did all that? Did you ever get anything for that?
You're talking about as part of Green Hills?
No, across the street from Green Hills.
Across the street?
Tore all those trees down.
For a house.
Yeah, I have
I thought it
not.
was a commercial property they were gonna put back there, small little
There
building like one
was-
down in 18.
There was one that was replatted and he combined some lots and had that replatted through us and then along with regional planning for future commercial, but nothing on the horizon just yet. I think he's waiting for, if we're talking about the same property, he's talking about retiring first and then it's going to be some commercial properties going over there.
Okay, all right, thanks. I just was curious.
Also, just to put on your radar, and I don't know if it was just a one weekend thing, but Shenandoah was selling barbecue out front there. I don't know if it was just a pop-up vendor, but to be fair to all of our vendors, we want to make sure that they're all obviously applying for that vendor permit and following all the rules out there.
I just didn't know if it was for sale.
Yeah, it's
And
for
then all of a
sale.
sudden somebody's out there barbecuing. So I don't know if just
Yeah.
somebody just stopped by and said, hey, what the heck, we'll start barbecuing.
Yeah, he was barbecuing all weekend, so.
Well, I told Jim you need to put a big red sign out there that says for sale.
Right.
Because that thing's been sitting across the street from my house for about 3 years now.
Is that the one?
Huh? Yeah, that's the one I talked to you about, yeah.
Yeah, but it has had a for sale sign on it for weeks sitting out there and then some guys out
Well,
there
you just had-
barbecuing at it.
Yeah.
It was like you just had it written on there in white chalk.
Right.
You know, you went by it so fast you didn't see it.
I don't know if they're just
this
trying to make
weekend.
money on the side or, but yeah, just to let you know so everybody's on the same.
Maybe they wanted to test it, to see how it worked.
Big quick buck. That's all I have. Anybody else have anything for zoning? All right, thank you for your report. Appreciate it. Takes us on to road department. Dave, you are up.
Not too much today. Working with the county on OPWC grant money for next year's project of 2021. Looks like it'd be some culvert replacements over on Howe Road, the big one right by Crystal Parkway and Lorraine. Sterling Green and Chapman Allotment, they're completely done. Still just waiting on some paperwork where we can finalize all that with them. Sachs Road is completed. We're waiting for him to send his bill in now too. The county's looked at that and everything's good with that one. Just an update real quick. The Selnick Road and the Malloy Road culvert projects are probably gonna start the first week of October.
Okay.
So them things will get fired up. They're figuring only a couple weeks of work.
Is there gonna be any road closure due to that?
Yes, Selnick will be closed for a few days and then when they move over to Malloy Road will be, and they'll have detour
Completely,
set up and stuff.
completely shut down?
Completely
At certain
shut down.
times? Okay. I'll just need to know that.
Yeah, they'll have the detours up for people to get around and stuff.
And then we're coordinating with the schools too for the bus routes.
The bus routes, everybody will know what's going on. Yeah.
Okay.
And Herd and Jenny, we're gonna miss you. Herd and that's my report.
All right. Any questions for the road department today?
And I just wanted to follow up. So we're done back here then?
Or, yeah,
That's all done?
that's completely.
Oh, good.
Looks real nice back there too.
Yeah, I know I drove down the one road, but they completed everything.
Yeah, everything's complete.
That needed it so bad. So that's good.
Yeah, thanks for getting that done this year, Dave. It's
Yeah.
it's a project that really needed done, and I think
Absolutely.
that really helps our community. All right, anything else for road department? Okay, if not, that'll move us into Parks and Rec.
Right.
Cassie, the floor is yours.
So my first item is Christmas 2020. Obviously, we're not going to have our normal Christmas event this year, but we're going to try to make it as awesome as possible. So Craig and I had a meeting with Elegant Lighting yesterday. The company that
Can't
does
hear
our
us.
You can't hear me?
There you go.
Okay.
We can hear you. It comes and goes. I think it's your laptop.
Oh, okay. Craig and I had a meeting with Elegant Lighting yesterday, the company that does our lighting at the for the police department and the town hall. And I wanted to discuss possible changes and or additional lighting at the town hall this year, since we won't be doing our usual event,
Yeah.
possibly changing it up here a little bit.
Cassie?
Yeah.
Can you just come in here?
Yeah, that's fine. Yeah. Okay.
So we only own the carousel thing. Are they willing to trade that? They want it back and they'll give us some credit.
They are, but I don't want to buy it.
No, I wouldn't either, but are they willing to buy that back from us? Great.
Possibly.
We just need more lights. I'm gonna fill this thing
I
up.
know. Yeah, just put, you don't even need to bring that, Cass.
I don't have my report.
Oh,
We have it in here though, don't we?
I would say, do we have it in the copies? Sorry, we just can't. Go
We
ahead.
gotta get a microphone for your laptop. We'll have to have Ryan order one.
So, where was I? Okay.
Elegant lighting, yeah.
Yes, we had a meeting with Elegant Lighting yesterday to discuss possible changes and or additional lighting at the town hall because we're not doing our normal program, our event. So we wanted to discuss maybe changing it up this year.
Okay.
Let me just ask you a couple things. 'Cause some of those we own, some of those we rent.
Yes.
I would think that I'm willing to trade any of those things that we purchased in the back. I don't know if they're willing to talk about that at all.
Yeah,
The
they
carousel?
discussed, yeah, we do own the carousel and they discussed that we are able to sell that and either purchase or rent different things.
Okay.
Were there other items that? we
Yeah,
owned?
let me jump in there. So we know that we own the carousel, which could be traded in. We don't know a price on that. We could change some of the lightings around. We could wrap some of the pillars and fill it up is what I want to do, is fill it up. There will be cost that comes back to us because we cut down a pine tree that gets wrapped, so that comes back. But we also, and I of course I would discuss this with you first. We don't need to make a motion today. We would like to add additional because of not having the cost of doing our tree lighting. We thought maybe, I'm not speaking for money, but maybe we add some more and just really fill it up.
Oh, I'm a sucker when it comes to that. We have
The
additional
option,
monies out there to do that.
the option that was in Cassie's head, I think, and I don't speak for her, is some kind of area where people can come in, like an archway, maybe a sleigh for pictures, that families could come up and get
Well,
some
and
Christmas
that's where Santa's
pictures.
gonna come in, maybe possibly drive by Santa.
Yeah.
Whatever
But
sort of
an
thing.
outdoor photo op area that could be just left up. So it's
Well, and I
an
was thinking, can we
option.
get this back area that we own too with lights? Because I'm almost picturing the same drive-through route that you have set up for the October event is what I would picture for this Christmas event, kind of flowing traffic that way, but having them come through here where we can have those handouts. and
So our
events.
total right now is right around, for police department and for us, right around that $9,000 mark. So I didn't know if we wanted to go ahead and up that, or we don't want to up that till we know, but it's kind of a catch-22 because they don't know how much they have to work with till we say something. So my option was throw it out there. Do we make an additional $5,000?
Well, we had monies that
First.
normally would have paid towards the
Right.
Christmas program, which we're not paying this year.
Right, and really do it nice, or,
Well, in order to meet.
but I don't, that's kind of that number you throw out there till they know what we have, they can't.
I know that we were trying, and I know we talked about this before, and Santa was in the discussion as well, that we're trying to do some virtual stuff
Right.
to make it so that the kids don't lose out on Christmas just because of COVID and not having a celebration back here. So whatever we have to do to make that work, we have money that we were paying before that we're not paying now. So that could be contributed to the virtual reality of it. And I don't know, to me, I like it and all, but that seems got a little old, the way we've had it. We've had it set up like
Right.
that for like 10 years now. I don't know, Sue, you've been here the whole time. I don't know if it's time for us to change it around. And if they came out and said, hey, we can do this, and this is what it'll cost to buy back your gazebo if you wanted to buy it back, or here's 3 options. We do it this way, and this way, and we got a range of $9,000 to $13,000.
So do you want us to go back and get that range with the option of working up to that amount?
Because
See
we
what we
always
can
give a
get
couple
for that?
$1,000 towards the Christmas program.
Yeah, the Chamber of Commerce every year has a special book that they give out to the kids. And if we're gonna drive through and take a walk through,
Still be
if
passing them out.
they're willing to do the books again this year, we could have that to be passed out. That might be.
I already
something.
talked this weekend to Julie about that. It's always been a Lions Chamber combination, and she's
Mhm.
supposed to be talking to the Lions about that to see what funding is available. And there was about 3 cases of books left over from last year.
Mhm.
So I kind of put that bug in her ear this weekend.
Okay.
And so we're working towards being able to get those books.
I spoke to, this is a little farther ahead of my agenda, but I did speak to Bill Fissler briefly from the Lions Club, and he said they would be interested in doing some sort of drive-through component.
Because I think if we remember, the whole vision that we had of this was kind of that winter wonderland drive-through. So I think we're going to need more lighting, but also to have that lighting competition within the township, so that as they do that drive-through, then they could head off and see other houses that night and then turn in forms, and we'll give out some type of trophy or award to the house that's the best decorated. And
Well, I
that
think
way
we
it's
have an
voted for.
additional $3,000 or $4,000 that we could put towards that above the norm.
I think we just say to not exceed 15, because we already do 9, just not to exceed 15, and you can trade and move stuff around however you need to make that happen,
That's
but
good.
make it a winter wonderland, just make it big.
Yeah.
And to fill up not just the front piece, but we're gonna have to do this back piece here too, so that there's kind of a drive-through component.
I'm trying to sell off that to people if we can. I mean, it's getting
So,
old too.
so to ask that question, I'm not into buying stuff and then storing it. Are we okay with just renting?
Yeah, I mean, it was a good idea when it started, but I mean,
Right.
we're never, the stuff we bought that they stored, I don't know if we really even want it now.
I
So now
would,
we're wanting to trade it back
personally, I
in.
would rather just trade and do different things
Well,
every year.
that's what I agree with, because I'm
Okay.
kind of bored of, not, I don't mean to sound bad, of the gazebo has been out there for 10 years, and I'm just, or not the gazebo,
Carousel.
but carousel, and I'm.
Has it
switch
been
up a
10
little.
years already?
Yeah, it's
I
been
believe
10
my
it
years.
word.
said 2013 was when we purchased it.
We had it before that,
Roughly.
because we did the Christmas a couple years before that, but yeah, we bought the gazebo, or the carousel after that. but-
So not jumping ahead, but something for discussion is, I told them we probably will move forward with this, but do we want to light the tree in the same date we usually do? Or
Yeah,
light
so
the
we wanna do
lights?
that
we
date
Still
that-
want to do that?
Yeah, that's the night of the drive-through, so
So
we
that'll be
want,
the 29th.
yeah, the big event is gonna be on the 29th. when
So we're
people
still
come
going to do the
through.
same thing with them.
And it's gonna be virtual this year, though,
Right.
so it's like we're watching the ball drop in New York City, they can all be watching it on their computer and all the Christmas lights.
Right, but at the same time, or some people actually get to see it because they'll be driving
Right.
through at that
We
point.
just won't have that big crowd that we had before.
Yeah, but we'll just keep cars flowing on that night.
Yes, and that's the 29th.
Yes.
Okay, so what I'm hearing is we'll explore additional costs and then bring you back a total.
I say we just make a motion today not to exceed 15,000.
I've always liked to talk to
No,
John. I
no,
didn't
no,
get a chance to
that's,
talk. to
I
him,
just
so.
know we've given, we're saving money this year because we're not doing anything. So
That's
there's
right.
extra money.
Up to 15. with-
Yeah, up to
and of
15,
course,
but I would-
and of course, we'll,
If you could get it at 12,
Yes.
that's great.
Right,
Well,
but I just want to give her a budget to
Take it
work
over.
with for the event.
do we need to upgrade the nativity scene table?
Yes.
Yeah, that thing's pretty much shot.
So is it something, is that something they may be able to provide also in that budget, a nativity scene? I'm
Is it-
just throwing
It's
it out
past the
there.
repair process, isn't it? We've repaired it a couple different times, haven't we? So it's.
We've
pretty-
actually taken pieces out.
Okay.
Hey, great.
Okay. Is there anybody that sells those?
Well, yeah, you can go Hardware Hardware and all them guys, but you're starting to talk, you know.
Once again, do we want to store it?
Something really fancy.
It's just where I'm going at. Do we want to store that or do we get a price from them?
Well, if
Yeah,
you haven't, they put
we
it up
have
every
one,
year,
we can put it
yeah.
up, take it down for you, just an option.
So why don't you, let's do this. Why don't you ask them what they have for nativity scenes and see how much that impacts the budget? And then if it's gonna be really expensive to add that in as a rental, bring it back to us and maybe we'll just purchase one. But for now, I'll make the motion that the Christmas event and lighting is not to exceed $15,000.
Second.
And then start pricing it all together. If we need to make some changes, we can down the road, but I think that gives us a good budget to work with.
Well, and we're doing something totally different this year too, and it's for the good of the community and COVID and good of little kids.
Right, I mean, just with, that's why we're doing the drive-through, that's why we're doing trick or treat this year, we gotta give families something.
Yep.
Of course, it costs money, but there's a lot of positive feedback to
Yeah.
having the town center there. Right. So,
Well, and doing what we're doing now, I mean, we're saving Christmas for all the little 5-year-olds that might miss it this year just because.
There might not be a lot of Santa
Your
places
new
to go to.
grandkids, right?
There we go. Okay, all those in favor, Nick,
Yes.
Sue,
Yes.
motion passed.
And then additional items we already kind of discussed is the parade of lights. I've kind of been calling it would be I don't know if I want to refer to it as a competition, but inviting people to participate in lighting their house and then submitting a form that people can go and drive past their house and look at them and maybe have some sort of competition. I'm working on that, but providing some sort of map route for people to drive around the community and see light displays. I think that would be really neat.
We're gonna have those online as well, so people can look at them.
Yeah.
They can't get out and about.
You might check with the Kelso House, because years ago, they had the lighting and they had different houses that you could go on tour. Judy may already have all that work done.
Okay, and I know I spoke with Nancy briefly and she said that she participated in that as well, so I can speak to her too.
We did something a couple years ago similar to that.
I think just with all the new homes, there's a lot of people that do a lot of lighting, so we can get more addresses, we can get people engaged. And maybe we'll even do a virtual drive around one night of just all of those for those that don't.
No, that would be
like
fun.
right?
Yeah, that would be fun, yeah.
And then also virtual components. I've been speaking with Santa briefly about doing some virtual components. I've also considered doing maybe some virtual holiday crafts or maybe a virtual baking project. I don't know, I'm floating some ideas around. If you have some good ideas, let me know.
I'd like
That's
to
why
see
she
us
changed
do.
her hair color. We're gonna.
I'd like to see us maybe put together a craft kit that we hand out, and then they can hop online. They can do it on their own, or they can get online and do it.
Yep.
With everybody.
Yeah, I like that idea.
Granny Smith's apple pie.
And then also drive through handouts and giveaways on the 29th. We're looking at, so. Workshopping all of those things. Next item, Parks Advisory Committee. I'm still taking applications for that until September 15th. We've gotten 6 really awesome applications so far. I'm very excited. So if anybody's interested, we are still taking applications for that.
How many people are you gonna put on that board?
Ideally 7.
Okay.
And then I will bring the final decisions to the trustee meeting on the 7th of October. Program and events. My first episode of Backyard Brimfield, the web series, will air this Saturday. If you're not familiar, that is, I'm taking submissions also of photos and videos of nature sightings in people's backyards. I've already gotten some. Thank you, John. And I've gotten some really interesting things from people's backyards. So I'll just do a little discussion about the animals and plants that people are seeing and just give a couple facts about them, maybe throw a couple of my own findings in there too. So I'm excited about that. I'm going to try to do that bi-weekly and keep up with it.
Okay.
And then this Sunday, I will be going to the Kent Bog expansion on Howe Road with Portage Park District to do a virtual moth program. We're going to be setting up some moth bait, which is just basically rotten fruit and beer. And you put it on the base of a tree and it'll attract different moths, so we can look at the different moths. There's like hundreds of different species of moths that live in Ohio, so I'm excited for that collaboration. And then my final item is I will be out of the office beginning 9/24, and I will be back on Monday, October 5th.
All right.
And that is all.
Sounds good. Sounds like we have a lot of exciting stuff for the last quarter of this year.
Yes.
Between the park's virtual events and the Christmas event, trick or treat. So we're good. Any questions for parks?
I'm sending you a video, just FYI.
Oh.
Our turtles did hatch, but we only had one that we could find.
Oh.
So I don't know how many normal come out, but we have a little video of a teeny little snapping turtle that the big mama laid eggs right in our wood chips right along the side of her house. But I'm gonna send it to you just in case. But we only had one, so I don't know if that's the norm. If you get 1 or 10 or 100, I don't know.
We should get, well, watch Backyard Brimfield, and I'll tell you. I'll put it in there.
Ah, there we go.
Saturday.
I'm sending you my
I don't want to
video.
give away all of my fun facts, so.
I just sent you my video so you can play around with that. Okay.
Well, thank you.
Thank you. Cemetery, we had 1 deed to sign. Those have been signed and given to the fiscal office.
Awesome.
Fiscal office, do you have any updates, reports, or need anything from us?
I do not.
How are things looking on that house purchase? Are we close to that? being
Yeah,
finalized?
we got all the stuff. We just need to set up a time to finalize it. Yeah, I think we're waiting on.
We're waiting on just one or two things.
Yeah,
And
it's.
we probably
it's
should have an
going-
update by next meeting.
But it's in process.
No hiccups.
All right. At this point, we are going to go into virtual session. Hopefully Brian's listening so that he can do this for the executive session. We'll have to shut everything down. So on 9/9/2020, I move to convene into executive session pursuant to Ohio Revised Code, section 121.22G, for the purpose of considering the following matters: discipline and the investigation of charges or complaints against a public employee, official, licensee, or regulated individual. I need a second for that.
Second.
Also in that motion, in this meeting, we're going to have Greg Beck from what firm?
Baker.
Baker. Thank you. And then we will also have, is that it? Anybody else bringing in?
Tanya Rogers.
Tanya Rogers. Okay.
But under the same firm.
Okay. Need a second for that? Did you
Second.
And then we're just to make it, we're gonna have the board and Craig.
And Craig, yeah, I'm sorry. Ward and Craig.
That's it. Okay, all those in favor, Nick,
Yes.
Sue,
Yes.
we are adjourned to executive session at 8:46.
All right, we'll take a 5-minute break.
Yeah.
We'll
I'm gonna mute your video and your audio, guys. I'll take care of it on this end.
I don't need to do it here, Brian?
I got it.
Can you go shut that camera off too? Yep. Thank you. That's fine. After we
We're not
talk to
gonna have
him.
you here.
All right, Brian, can you hear everybody now?
Yes, I can. You are live.
Thank you. All right, I will make a motion to exit executive session.
Second,
10:11 a.m. Okay, all those in favor, Nick?
Yes,
Sue?
yes,
We're back in session.
I will make a motion. How do we word this?
As a result of the executive session.
Yeah, I will make a motion as a result of the executive session to schedule pre-disciplinary hearings for both the road worker and supervision of the road departments.
second,
Amend that to also say that will be scheduled by Fire Chief Holiday.
Okay, all those in favor, Nick?
Yes,
Sue?
yes,
Motion passed.
I will make a motion to take the road workers off paid administrative leave to return to work on Thursday, September 10th at their normally scheduled time.
second,
Okay, all those in favor, Nick?
Yes,
Sue?
yes,
Motion passed.
anything for the good of the order? If not, I'll make a motion to end the Brimfield Township September 9th meeting.
second,
10:13, we're out. All those in favor, Nick?
Yes.
Sue?
yes.
Okay, we're done.
All right, and we can end the video.